On behalf of Navrachna University, I welcome you to this e-content. This is a project sanctioned under NMEICT, the National Mission for Education through Information and Communication Technology. The title of our project, E-Content for Undergraduate Students in Biochemistry. I am Dr. Mandira Sikdar, and I wish to explain to you how to access content from this website. This is how the content has been laid out. Right on top you can see home, topics, expert lectures, news and events, forum, contact us, search the web for additional information. We are now at home, which will give you details about Navrachna University and the faculty who have designed the e-content. My co-investigators in this project were Dr. Elizabeth Robin, PhD Botany, Dr. K.S. Kumar, PhD Chemistry, Dr. Darshi Bakshi, PhD Zoology. About the project, this is a project which has been developed to take education to learners situated in remote areas and to learners who are in unreached populations and thereby ensure democratization of education. This project would cater to the educational needs of remotely placed populations, as also those learners who wish to update their skills and enrich themselves in a world that is witness to quick redundancy in almost all spheres of knowledge. We hope to contribute in a humble and meaningful way towards the achievement of national objectives for increased literacy for the nation. Let me now take you to the topics which have been designed as a part of this e-content. These are the basic topics which you would be studying in the undergraduate level of biochemistry. Let me explain to you with one single topic, basic chemistry. All the other topics have been designed in the same manner. Basic chemistry. These are all the topics that you would find under the topic basic chemistry. Atoms, electrons, photons, neutrons, atomic number and atomic mass, elements, isotopes, radioisotopes, half period, periodic table, chemical bonds, compound, substance, molecule, mole. If you click on any one of these topics, for example, if I click on atom, the information related to atom would appear on your screen. There would be information in the form of content. You can see the information under atom. We have tried to give you all the information related to atom. What are electrons? What are protons? Neutrons? And all the details related to the periodic table and so on and so forth. At the bottom you would find these cursors which would help you to move from one page to the next page. For example, you can now come to another topic related to atoms. Let me get back to the topic where we were, that is on atoms. In atom, in addition to the content which has been given to you, you may still find more information related to the topic on atom through a number of video lectures which have been attached. If you have not been able to understand the content, you can go to the video lectures. Let me click on any one of them. This video will help you to better understand the content on periodic table. Next, we have also put a number of animations to help you to understand the concept of atom, its structure, its orbitals, etc. Learners may click on any one of these animated sessions in order to better understand the topic on atom. Once you have understood what the topic is all about, you can also go to this link in order to understand and get more information related to atom and more complicated topics. This would give you a list of books which you can read if you want to enrich your understanding. For each and every topic, we have provided you with a glossary. If you are not able to understand any of the terms, please visit any of these websites which will give you a dictionary of difficult terms. Once you have mastered the concept, you can then get a number of tests or exams. Along with each question paper, we have also given you the answer sheet. And these answer sheets will help you to check your knowledge related to the topic. If you are sure that you have mastered the topic, you may now go to the next topic, or you may revisit the same topic to understand it better. The reference section will again give you all the URLs which you may visit in order to get more information on the topic content. We shall now go back to topics, and you can see for each and every topic the same information has been provided. So only for an example, if you again go to cell, you would find that all the organization of content has been done in the same manner as atom. Index, video lecture, animation, suggested reading, glossary, question bank, references. And along with this data which has been given to you, you will also find visual content, you will find images, and through this arrow you can move from one page to the next page. Along with textual data, we have been able to give to the learner data in the form of pictures so that students are able to understand the concept. This is the arrangement of all the topics which you would come across in the syllabus of biochemistry. Not only the content or video or animations, we have also tried to attach a large number of video lectures of experts in this concerned field. This is a topic on periodic table, which has been conducted by the faculty from a neighboring reputed university, the MS University of Baroda. The first 3 lectures are on periodic table, the second are on proteins, and the last on osmosis. So in addition to the content and the video, and the animation and the glossary, you also have expert lectures which will help you to understand the content better. If I were to get back to home, under project highlights, we will be regularly updating the content, and through the project highlights, we will convey to our learner any new information which has been added to any of the topics which we have just discussed. Please look out for the project highlights for any new content which has been added. The news and events section that we have over here gives you more information related to the topics. It gives you information regarding any seminar or conference which has been conducted related to your topic. It makes you aware of new research and innovations which have happened with respect to the topics which we have uploaded. You may click on any one of them in order to get access to enriched information regarding the topics you have just studied. In the forum section, you are welcome to post any questions that you may have to the three faculty who have designed the content. Dr. K.S. Kumar, his email ID kskumar@nuv.ac.in, Dr. Elizabeth Robin for botany at elizabethr@nuv.ac.in, Dr. Darshi Bakshi for zoology related topics at darshib@nuv.ac.in. You may write your name, you may write the mail to the concerned faculty where you have a doubt, and you may type your message in this box, and the faculty concerned will get back to you as quickly as possible. This section called Search the Web gives you an opportunity to connect with Google or any other search engine regarding any topic on which you want further information. You can come here and type in your keyword and search the same through this search engine or any other search engine. This is in short the content which has been designed for different topics under biochemistry. We thank the National Mission through Education, the National Mission for Education through Information and Communication Technology. This e-content for biochemistry will be hosted for open access through the main project website http://www.nuv.ac.in. It is almost ready and will be functional shortly. We thank you. Please be in touch with us for any queries related to the content. Have a good day.
Okay students, today we will start the class with cell structure and function. So today we will learn what types of cells are there and the functions of each organism. Okay. Now we will learn what is cell. Now cell, it is the fundamental unit of life. It is the smallest living unit and you can see only through the microscope as they are microscopic. So they are it is the fundamental and functional unit of life. Okay. Now the discovery of cells, it was discovered by Robert Hooke, who cut a cork and saw a row of empty boxes and he termed it as cell. So the cell was termed by Robert Hooke. Cell theory, it was given by Schwann and Schleiden, which says all living things are made up of cells. So there are no living things which are not made up of cells, and all cells come from cells. That means cells, they develop from the cells itself. Now here we have already seen before in the previous slide. Here the cell theory, it says all living things are made up of cells, and it is the structural and functional unit of any organisms. And as we say, cells arise from cells means it arises from the pre-existing cells. As you can see the cell size, it is 1 millimeter to 0.1 nanometer. So you can see the wide range of the size of the cell. Okay. Now we see characteristic of each cell, what each cell is composed of. It has a cell, it has a surrounding membrane, it has a protoplasm which is made up of a thick liquid, thick fluid, and it has organelles where each organelle has a specific function. And the control center is with the DNA, which is the hereditary material. We have cell types, two types, which is the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic. Prokaryotic is the primitive cell and eukaryotic is the advanced type. Prokaryotic cells are mostly found in bacteria and archaea organisms, which are the first cell type on the earth. As you can see, you have this bacteria cell, which is very primitive. You can see there are not many number of organelles, and you have only the DNA, the ribosomes, and you have a cell wall. Now here difference between a prokaryote and a eukaryote is you have in prokaryote you have membraneless organelles, okay, and you have a nucleoid. You don't have a nucleus, here it is called as a nucleoid, which is the region of DNA concentration, and the organelles, which where you can see the ribosomes, they are not bound by any membrane. Now if you see the eukaryotes, the nucleus is bound by membrane and you have many organelles which are membrane bound, okay, which includes the advanced type of organisms, that is the fungi, protists, plant and animal cells. Here you can see this is a typical animal cell and here you have a typical plant cell. Now we will go through the organelles which are present both in plants and in animals. Okay. Now here there are some organelles which are common in both plants and animal cells. Now here the first one is the plasma membrane, which contains which has cell contents, and it is made up of double layer of phospholipids and proteins. As you can see here, this is the membrane, and if you see the composition of it, you have a phospholipid, that is 2 layers of lipids, and you have protein molecules in it. Now here the phospholipids, it is a polar molecule which has a hydrophilic head, which has an affinity for water, and you have a hydrophobic tail which does not have an affinity for water. So phospholipids, mostly it has an interaction with the water molecules. Membrane proteins, as you see, you have a membrane protein over here. Here you have this membrane protein, the pink color in color. You have, these are some of the properties or some of the functions of membrane proteins. First of them, it is a transporter. It helps molecule, अंदर का molecule, it goes outside the cell. So it can move only in one direction. It is a receptor as it recognizes only certain chemicals. Then it is glycoproteins, and it has enzymes also which is present, which helps which catalyzes certain reactions. Okay. Now here cell wall is found only in plants, fungi and many protists, which is absent in animals, and it surrounds, this is the cell wall which surrounds the plasma membrane. Okay. Now here the cell wall difference between plant and fungi is, the plants it is mostly cellulose and chitin is present in fungi cell wall. Now cytoplasm, it is a viscous thick fluid which contains most of the cell organelles are seen in the cytoplasm, and the components of cytoplasm are, they have interconnected filaments and fibers. You can see all the crisscross over here, which are the filaments and the fibers, and you have a thick fluid which is the cytosol. You have the organelles, and you have storage substances like lipids, proteins, etc. Okay. Then you have the cytoskeletons, which are made up of filaments and fibers. The fibers, they are made up of 3 types: microfilament, you can see microtubules, and intermediate filaments, and their function is mainly for mechanical support, and it helps to move the substances from inside to outside of the cell. Okay. Here you have the electron microscopic view of the microtubules. Then you have the cilia and the flagella, which you find mostly in the bacteria cell. They provide motility, and you have cilia which are very short hairs and which helps to move substances outside the human cells. you have flagella which you find in bacteria cells. They have whip-like extensions, or they are found in sperm cells. Then again they are made up of 9 plus 2. It is 9 pairs of microtubules which are you see in the outside ring, and in the middle ring you have microtubules, 2 pairs of microtubules. Now centrioles, they help in cell division, as you can see it in mitosis and meiosis. Now we will go through the membranous organelles, which are the membrane bound organelles. Now nucleus, this is the control center of cell, because you have the this nucleus, it is the brain of the cell. So that is, it is a double membrane, you have an inner membrane and outer membrane, and it contains chromosomes and nucleus. So this is mainly for the hereditary material. Then you have a nuclear envelope also, which separates nucleus from the other cell, and it is also double membrane. As you can see, you have pores over here, you have holes over here. Now DNA, which is the hereditary material, it is made up of chromosomes, which in turn is made up of DNA, proteins, and you even have chromatin. Okay, so this is DNA is mainly for the cell division. Nucleolus again, which is found within the nucleus, it is a direct synthesis of RNA and which helps in the formation of ribosomes. Now endoplasmic reticulums also helps in transport, and it is a network of interconnected membranes. Okay, now here you have two types of membrane, which is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is, as the name says, the first one, it has a rough surface, and the second is a smooth surface because of the presence and absence of ribosomes. Now in rough endoplasmic reticulum, you can see you have all the ribosomes which are present here, and they help in ribosomes, they normally help in protein manufacture. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it has, you can see the smooth surface, it has no ribosomes, and it helps in carbohydrates and lipid synthesis. Golgi apparatus, it helps in synthesis of plant cell wall, and it is also known as packaging and shipping station of the cell. Now here, what is the function? The molecules, it comes in vesicles. Vesicles are small round structures. They fuse with the Golgi membrane, which may be modified by the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi body, and then the molecules, it comes off into another separate vesicle, and it leaves the Golgi apparatus, which goes to the plasma membrane. As you can see here from the nucleus, the endoplasmic reticulum is attached when you have the ribosomes, and you can see here a vesicle comes out which has the proteins, and you have the vesicles which goes and sticks to the Golgi body, and which in turn gets modified over here, and you can see the secretory vesicles come out, and it will come out of the plasma membrane. Now the lysosomes is also called as suicidal bags, and it is also contain digestive enzymes, so it helps mostly in the digestion. So functions, it helps in cell renewal, it breaks down old cell parts, and it digests invaders. Or then you have the vacuoles, which is the storage material. Okay, you have a large vacuole, which is you have this vacuole. You can see here a large vacuole which is mostly present in the plant cell, and it is absent or minimal in animal cell. Okay, and it contains water, food, and waste material. Mitochondria, it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. It has its own DNA, it has its own mitochondrial DNA, and it is again bound by double membrane, inner membrane and outer membrane. This helps in breakdown of fuel molecules, that is glucose and fatty acids, and it releases energy, that is ATP. That's why it is known as powerhouse. Chloroplast is known as the kitchen of the cell, as the photosynthesis or the formation of food takes place in chloroplast, which is only found in plants. Okay, and it is believed to be derived from a photosynthetic bacteria, and it takes the help of the solar energy. Okay, and you can see here, this is the chloroplast, and this is the outer and inner membrane of chloroplast, and you have thylakoid and the granum present here. Okay, in make cellular food, that is the food, it is the product is the glucose. Okay. Now here you can see the comparison between the bacterium, animal, and the plant cell. If you see here, the cell wall is absent in animal but present in plants, which is the cellulose, and you can see Here the chloroplast is absent in bacteria and animal, but it is present in plant. Then you have the lysosomes, which are present in, which is absent in bacteria but present in animal and plants. And vacuoles, as you see, they are absent or small in size in animal, whereas it is you have a single large vacuole which is present in the plant cell. So this is all about the cell and the functions of each of its organelles. Okay, good morning students. Today we will deal with the topic of photosynthesis. This is just an introduction of photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis and where it is found? It is an autotrophic process, that is the plants and plant-like organisms, they make their energy from sunlight. That is, the plants are autotrophic, they make their plants on its own, and we are heterotrophs as we are the consumers, as we cannot prepare the food by our own. And in this photosynthesis, the byproduct is the carbohydrate which is stored in their bodies. So here you can see a simple formula, that is CO2 which we breathe out, which is taken up by the plant, and water in presence of sunlight gives us glucose plus oxygen which is removed and which we take it in respiration. Now why is photosynthesis important? It makes organic molecules out of inorganic materials, that is carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is which we breathe out, and the water which they get it from the roots. Okay, it begins, and why it is important? Because of the food chain or the food web. Okay. It also makes oxygen as gas. Okay. As you can see in the diagram over here, you can see you have a sun which is the important source of photosynthesis. The plants such as grass, they use energy for photosynthesis to make their own food. And you can see the zebra over here, as it is a herbivore, it eats grass. And you can see finally the lion, it obtains energy by feeding on the zebra. So this is how the whole food chain goes on. Okay. Photosynthesis means, photo means light, synthesis means preparing of food, that is putting together with light. Now plants use sunlight, which in turn turns water and carbon dioxide into glucose, which is one type of sugar. And plants use this sugar as a food for energy as well as a building block for growing. Okay. Autotrophs, they make glucose, and heterotrophs, they are consumers of it, as we have seen in the food chain in the previous slide. Here you can see photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water, which is, it happens only in the chlorophyll, that is in the chloroplast, which is the kitchen of the leaf of the plant. And you can see here the glucose, it in turn prepares glucose plus oxygen. Here you can see you have the light energy, the carbon dioxide which we breathe out, you get the water from the roots which is in turn taken up by the leaf, and the oxygen is removed out. Okay. Now what happens is, here you have this is the anatomy of the leaf, where you can see you have the palisade as well as the spongy cells. Okay, these are mesophyll tissue. Okay, yeah, and here you have a stomata over here, that is, it helps in exchange of gases, that is CO2 gets in and oxygen gets out of the stomata. And you have a thin cuticle which is for the protection of the epidermis. And you can see this is the section of the leaf which you can see over here. You can see the